Okay, we have come to our last video, inshallah, video number 6. Okay, so in video number 6, we will talk about the economic exposure, and the last one is a translation exposure. If you can recall, in our first video, I did mention about 3 economic exposures that we have: transaction, economic, and translation exposure. So economic exposure is actually a type of foreign exchange a type of foreign exchange exposure caused by the effect of unexpected currency fluctuation on a company's futures cash flow, foreign investment, and earnings. Okay. Alright, kalau transaction exposure that we have learned before, alright, the currency changes will affect us as the buyer or as the seller, as the importer or as the exporter. Kita takut kita kena bayar banyak, or kita takut kita dapat duit sikit when the foreign company pay us. But in this economic exposure, when the currency exchange, when the currency rate fluctuate or change, okay, it will affect the company's futures cash flow, foreign investment, and earnings. For example, peningkatan ataupun appreciation of the currency menyebabkan cost of production meningkat. Contoh dia macam tu. It will affect the operating cost. Itu kita panggil economic exposure. To understand further, okay, you please read all that I have provided there in the slide. Okay, to understand further, let's take a look at this example. Let's say a Malaysian electronic appliances manufacturer produce a light electrical product that cost ringgit Malaysia 240,000 in 2019 in United States. Dia share dekat Malaysia. Alright, ada cawangan dekat US, and the production cost dia dalam ringgit adalah 240,000. Okay. Katakan exchange rate waktu tu RM4.12 per 1 USD. But if into 2020 the exchange rate change, okay, to RM4 per USD, as we can see our currency appreciated, okay, the cost of producing the appliances in US will also change. Okay. Alright, ini rate pada 2019 RM4.12 per USD. In 2020 RM4, okay, per USD. Alright, let's say okay, maksudnya in 2019 kos dalam US berapa? RM240,000 bahagi dengan RM4.12. Alright, the cost should be RM58,252.43. Itu in 2019. Let's say the cost of production sama dalam ringgit Malaysia 240,000. But since our currency has appreciated, maka cost of production dekat US pun meningkat kepada 60,000. So this is what we call economic exposure. How the exchange rate changes will affect our cash flows, alright, in term of the operating cost. Okay, banyak lagi lah. Okay, so in 2019, okay, ni cerita dia. The US equivalent cost adalah USD 58,252.43. But in 2020, because our currency value has appreciated to RM4, maka cost of production in US is 60,000 USD. Okay, since the other US prices have not gone up, fewer American will buy Malaysian electrical appliances. Alright, of course orang dekat US tak belilah barang Malaysia kat sana. Kenapa? Harga dah meningkat. Jadi in order to maintain cost pada RM58,252 USD, apa yang kita kena buat? Cost tu memang kita kena kurangkan. Alright, cost production in ringgit, maka kita kena kurangkan. Kita kena kita ambil kalau kita nak maintain pada 58,252 USD ni pada exchange rate terkini pada tahun 2020 RM4, kos pengeluaran yang tadi 240,000 kita kena kurangkan kepada RM233, RM233.9.71. Barulah kita boleh maintain. Kalau kita convert pada USD pun masih 58,252. Okay, this is actually what happened when the appreciation of ringgit happen. Okay, kalau depreciation kisah lain pula. Okay, jadi kesan economic exposure tu dia akan affect kita punya company punya cash flow. Alright, dia akan menyebabkan barang kita lagi mahal. Bila barang kita mahal, dia akan affect kita punya competitive level, competitive position. Okay, disebabkan duit kita mahal, maka barang kita yang we sell in overseas, alright, may not have been so interesting untuk pembeli lah. orang tak berminat nak beli kita punya barang. Orang akan beli barang tempatan dia orang sendiri. Okay. So how to mitigate the economic exposure? Macam mana nak kurangkan economic exposure? There are a few strategies to mitigate economic exposure. You diversify lah production line you, production facility you, supaya bila kita ada banyak, kita diversify kita punya production, kos pengeluaran yang ni boleh cover, sales daripada pengeluaran produk yang ni boleh cover kos bahagian produk yang ni, macam tu. And then pelbagaikan kita punya sources. Okay, jangan bergantung pada satu sources sahaja. Lepas tu diversify juga kita punya financing method. Alright, seek from various financing institution. Alright, financial institution. Okay, and then finally you do the currency risk sharing agreement between you and the supplier and your stakeholder, for example. Jadi bila berlaku pertukar naik ke jatuh ke currency kita dah agree bahawa the risk yang berlaku kita kongsi sama-sama dengan supplier kita, for example. Okay, and then the last exposure is what we call translation exposure. This is actually the risk that a company's equity, asset, liabilities or income will change in value as a result of exchange rate changes. Ini berlaku ni bila kita nak translate kita punya balance sheet into our home currency. Let's say we have company kita orang Malaysia, kita buka company dekat Japan, for example. Of course, our company in Japan, we prepare the balance sheet, the financial statement dalam yen lah. Jadi bila masa dia prepare balance sheet tu mungkin awal tahun. So masa hujung tahun nak translate the account tu ke dalam ringgit, exchange rate dah berubah. Jadi nilai tu will not represent the value masa the financial statement has was constructed. Okay. Jadi that's why translation exposure also known as accounting exposure. Bila kita nak translate kita punya financial statement into our home currency ke, dia akan, yelah kita prepare financial statement tu tarikh lain. Bila kita nak translate normally hujung tahun, current exchange rate dah berubah. Jadi it will not represent the real value. Okay. Alright, jadi so these are the whole story about the translation risk. But how to mitigate the translation exposure? Macam mana kita nak translate? So depends on the company. Ada company dia guna different company will use different method to translate their account. Okay. Ada company guna current and non-current method. Okay, apa maksudnya? All the current asset and liabilities akan ditranslatekan. Okay, contohnya balance sheet kita dalam yen nak translate kepada ringgit, dia akan guna current exchange rate waktu kita nak translate tu. Contohnya guna exchange rate pada bulan 12 punya exchange rate. Okay, tapi selain daripada current asset, okay, maksudnya non-current asset dia akan guna historical rate. Rate masa balance sheet tu disediakan. Mungkin awal tahun dulu dia akan guna historical rate. So ada beza. Current asset and current liability will be translated using current exchange rate, while all other long-term asset and liability will be translated by using historical rate. Okay. The second method, monetary and non-monetary method. Okay, kita punya asset and liability ni can be divided into two kategori yang lain pula. First, monetary. Monetary item adalah those item that in form of claim. Kita boleh claim, kita boleh tukar kepada cash. Non-monetary item are not in that form of claim lah. Okay. Example of monetary asset and liabilities are cash, account receivable, account payable. So this monetary asset kita translate. This monetary assets and liability will be translated by using current exchange rate. Lepas tu macam non-monetary asset and liability such as shareholders equity, loan, apa semua tu will be translated guna historical rate. Okay. Ada juga guna temporal method. Actually temporal method dengan monetary and non-monetary method tu sama je. Cuma kalau under non-monetary and monetary method, inventory tu dia kategorikan sebagai non-monetary. Bawah temporal method tu, inventories dia treated as monetary item. Maka dia akan translate guna current asset. Beza dia dekat inventory sahaja. And finally, secara mudah, senang cerita dia kata, tak nak pening-pening. Ada company guna current method je terus. Maksudnya all the liabilities, asset, apa semua yang ada dalam balance sheet will be translated guna current rate method. Tapi of course lah risiko dia lagi tinggi lah, because it may not represent the real value alright, of the item that we have in the balance sheet. Okay, so these two exposures, economic and translation exposures, are basically theory lah. Okay, this one you can read for your knowledge. Okay, kalau you nak deeper understanding about this, you may look for another information from internet, from YouTube. Okay, alright, that's all for chapter 7. Alright, so please watch all my videos. Maafkan saya yang sekali lagi kalau tersasul tu. Okay, but please refer to all the values or what have been stated in the slide. Kerana mulut saya terpelak sikit. Okay, thank you very much. Assalamualaikum.